What's going on, guys? This is Chris. Hey guys, I'm going to show you a couple easy solutions for when your power goes out. You don't really have to panic. A lot of people say, well, how am I going to charge my phone if the power's out for a couple of days? I'll be in the dark. I can't see around the house. Now, some people are lucky enough and fortunate enough to have generators, and I mean big ones that literally power the whole house. I don't have something that big. I've got a 4,000 watt generator. It works well. I barely use it because I actually have battery backup in the house too. All my lights are LEDs. I went from like everybody else, incandescent to CFLs, which is your fluorescent, and then I went to LEDs. It's the cheapest. They consume hardly anything for what they put out, and they're brighter and whiter as opposed to the CFLs. So anyway, but easier solution if you don't want to go out and spend a ton of money. Anything like this little Midland radio are really good. Now this is the Midland ER102, and I think I bought this thing at the Goodwill store, the thrift store, for like $5. And it's in great shape, as you can see. One thing I like about, well, several things I like about this is, first of all, it's got 7 channels or 7 frequencies from the NOAA weather radio. Now, a lot of times they'll have like all hazards radio, so if there's a major, catastrophe in your area, whether it be a tornado or whatever, these are nice to have because you can literally, if you've got no power on it, the battery's completely dead, doesn't matter. What you've got on the back of this is a small rechargeable battery pack. It looks like something you'd find in your cordless phone. And as you can see, there's no other batteries in here at the moment. You just, because this is what it does. You crank this up and you'll see this little light over here saying charge. That comes on. And what that does is this, by cranking it, charges these batteries. But you also have, this is a really nice feature. What you have is this here. You have this little input for your AC power supply. So you charge it up. It's ready to go. It'll charge those batteries. If you want to use the simple alkaline, that's fine too. Now it's also got like an earphone jack, but it also has a USB to charge your phone, which is really, really nice. A lot of people go, well, I don't need that. I've got a car charger. Well, if you plan on sitting on your car for a long period of time, but these are nice for like a bug out bag or for something like you want to use, just to have in the house, just to, emergency. I mean, here's the thing. It's got these 3 bright LED lights. I mean, these things are super bright. Again, you've got your weather channels. It's got this siren. In case there's an emergency, you can switch over to alkaline batteries. Got your AM, FM, and as far as a weather band. So let me see what we got here. Got your telescoping antenna. If it'll come out. Oh, gotta go this way. My bad. But you can see, I mean, it's definitely works nice. And I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and shut that off. Now I'm going to show you in the back of this. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. These are just, like I said, these are nice to have. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. Just go ahead and put the small little USB cable into it. And as you can see, it's just plugged into the back, and here's the other end. Okay? Now, we're just going to leave that on there. And something small. This is my little trash phone, I call it. It's only for work, but you'll see right there at the upper, I don't know if you can see that, but up at the upper right corner of that screen, you'll see it starts to charge it. I don't know how clear that's going to be, but you get the idea. It is actually starting to charge the phone. Now you can use these bigger phones. Now this battery doesn't have much of a charge. In fact, it was completely dead when I decided to do this video. So you don't see it doing anything right here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it down a minute. Set that down. Now I'm just going to go ahead and crank this a little bit, and you're going to see, of course these things, they're not super loud, but they do make a little bit of noise. Now what's going to happen is I just fired up, you can hear it, it just beeped. Now I'm going to show you this right here. I don't know if you can see that at all, but it has a little lightning bolt inside the battery. So it is actually charging this phone right now. Now this one I believe is 3.9 volts battery, and this one here is a 3.7. So it depending on what you're charging, it makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so now these, again, nice to have. You can buy many versions of this type of radio, and they're just nice. You can literally charge your phone. This thing could be completely dead. All you got to do is crank it for like 3 minutes. You can listen to any emergency broadcast, charge your phone up. You can sit there and literally crank it while you're on the phone. It comes out really clean current. You'd think it wouldn't, but it does. But anyway, it will charge. So let's set that aside. Now these are overlooked a lot. Not all the time, but these power inverters. This one here is a little Cobra DC to AC inverter, 400 watt, 800 watt peak. Now I've got it set up with a small little lighter plug, and the reason why I did that is because I have, I was using on a trip, I had these, you can see the two receptacles right there, and you got your on and off switch, so on and so forth. And what I was using it for is two laptops and two little cell phones if they wanted to charge their cell phones, you know. So it worked out well. Now, obviously, if you want to draw more on this, you have to take this lighter plug off and put something much more heavy duty. Now, I've got a heavier duty one right here. This one here is slightly bigger. This one here is the 800 watt power inverter, 1600 watts peak surge. And you can see it's got the cooling fan on the back. And I've got the heavy duty clamps for, you know, to clamp onto the battery. And you've got your two receptacles, as you can see, which are small on and off. Now, the good thing about these things, you can literally have your car parked in the driveway, buy one of these things relatively cheap, and just run a 50-foot, well, maybe a 50 or 100-foot cord into your house, and guess what? You can power up a TV set. I've got one that's also a 2200 watt, and I can power a refrigerator, for crying out loud. And once it shuts off, go out there, start the car for a little bit, and you're ready to go. Really nice feature to have. And like I said, it'll power up a lamp, your TV set, so you're not in the complete darkness. A lot of people get really scared when they're in complete darkness, and I don't blame them. So that's another option you can pick. Here's another one. Now if you guys are like me, I like to tinker with stuff. If this was, a lot of people are familiar with these. These are just a motion detector light. And what I had was a solar panel that plugged in the back here. Now, it got really cold out, and this thing just ceased to work. It just quit. Now, I don't know, the bulb seems to be okay, but I think it's either the battery pack either froze and that was the end of that, or something electronic went stupid in it. So I decided I don't like to just throw stuff out. The light wasn't that bright anyway, so I ended up getting two super bright LED. It's got the dual position lights, and a lot brighter, a lot better. So I just kicked that aside. Now I want to show you guys something what I came up with just by using that. So I got to take this thing outside because obviously we got to find the sun. Let me do this. All right, let me come out here with this. Now this here, I'll put this like this. Let me get it a little bit closer for you guys. Now this one here is pretty neat because what I did was I didn't want to have anything that was that worked, like I didn't want any kind of batteries on it. I wanted just pure solar. So what I did was I made this little cover here. You can see that solar charger, and basically this is the flip up. Now I'll go ahead and take this off. We'll set that aside, and you can see the solar power panel. Now you can see it had the base to it that looked like this here, and it would flip up. This thing flips up like this here. Now when you turn this around, let me do it this way so we don't be completely in the, you can see, whoops, my bad. You can see I just put a small switch on it, but this here is actually one of these units you can get from like Walmart. It has the two USBs as well as a lighter socket. Now most likely I'd probably use these here, you know, for the phones. Now again, no batteries in here, and you can see I put this switch on here, and you can see this is nothing more than a modular plug, and you can see there's no battery in there. It's nothing more than wires and the switch, and that's it. Now I want to go ahead and fire this thing up, and you'll see, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, there's a small LED light on, and that's strictly, I'm going to shut the light off again, put it back on, strictly solar power. Now let me go ahead and get this, let me run in there real quick. I'm going to see, I can put this any way I want. Go ahead and position it towards the sun. Now give me a second, let me go get this other phone. Now again, these are nice to have in like a bug out bag or any of that sort. I'm going to show you this. Here's my other trusty phone. Let's see what happens. We'll go ahead and plug that in. Turn it on. And you can, I don't know if you can see that screen because it's really hard to see. It's very bright out here right now, but you should be able to hear it. Come on. Okay, there it is. It just came on. And again, I don't know if you can see this, but it's so bright out here, guys. I wouldn't blame you if you couldn't see this at all. But you'll see like there's a small lightning bolt in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Let me see if you can see this here. If I can get it somewhat focused. Let me shut this off. It's going to stay on for a little bit until it'll bleed it off a hair bit, and then the light, and then it'll completely shut off. So you get the idea. This is pure sun, nothing more. It's nothing but, you know, and this is what I like about this thing. You don't need a battery pack at all. You just take it out. You could be on the beach. You could be out camping as long as you got direct sunlight. I've actually had it so bad out here that it's now the light is completely off. You can see, well, let me see here. Shut that back off, put it back on. And you can see it right there. There's no more lightning bolt in there. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back on. And it's back on. And it's nothing more, and you can see it right here, than solar power. That's it. No battery packs, no nothing. So the good thing about these things, they're nice to have, and I just, like I said, I hate to see anything go to waste, so I just go ahead and you know, threw this thing together. You can get this piece here for like 10 bucks at Walmart. This was a modular box for phones, but it was perfect because it has the screws in there, so I just made them as connectors. So that worked out well. I put the switch in because sometimes you can actually run, I've ran that small crank, just for the heck of it, I ran that small crank little radio into one and coming out the other, and it still was able to charge stuff. So you can use either solar or that, but why would you do that when you can plug it in directly into the back of the into the radio itself? But it was just to toy around with it, just to see what I could do with it. But anyway, you guys get the idea. I mean, this is just nice to have, and I think that anybody who's looking to have power when you don't have it, this is a nice option. There's several options you can do and not be in the total dark. Let me see here, something there. Okay, the phone just kicked back on. And like I said, I could just go ahead and shut that back off, unplug the phone, unplug it here. And again, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this little LED light that comes on here. It's not on. And there it is. Pure solar. So, shut it back off. And the reason why I did this here, you can see I've got these little Velcro strips, is to simply cover it because it's laying flat and something can come down and damage it. Anyway, guys, just figured I'd give you guys just a quick rundown of just some easy things you can do, easy solutions to not be in total darkness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next video.